business owners in many ways, like sending them text alerts if anything goes wrong. So if the freezer door is left open, you'll know to close it. Visit our site to discover more AET business solutions.
Just getting things set up here. Set up here. All right. If you're watching this, there's a little bit of delay, but I got my printer here. I got some mail today. Got a little package. I already opened it and did some slight modifications for it. I got me a MOS FET for my bed. I already printed out the motherboard and MOS FET mount for the side. I also have a cable chain that I'm going to be installing. I also have an inductive sensor that I'm going to be installing. Can you guys let me know in chat if you can hear me all right? That I'm going to be installing. I also have an inductive sensor that I'm going to be installing. Can you guys let me know in chat if you can hear me all right? Okay, so there's a little bit of a delay. So all right, so I'm going to definitely be doing some cable management. But before I go into this, I guess I can show you guys a little bit of what I've done. I got some braces. Those were a pretty long print for the front and the back. If you guys haven't done your cable tensioners, I'm telling you, man, that's like a major update that'll get you, get rid of any artifacts or anything that you might have inside your prints from having loose belts, because the stock, they just don't come very easily to get a good tension on it. So I moved my x-axis limit switch, which again is going to get kind of disabled once I put the inductive on, but I'm going to put this on. I'm going to get it, with the wire reroute it through the cable chain, but I'm not ready to update to Skynet yet, because I got something else in the works, and it'll give me possibly a second printer, and as long as I got one functioning one, then I can continue with some projects and not have to worry about if something happens that I have to take time to figure out and stuff. This is just kind of, I needed to make a new video for my channel, and I had some things to do to update, so I guess that's what we're gonna do. So this is the original power supply. I removed that a while ago, and I called up a buddy of mine who's got a computer store, and he sold me this used ATX power supply for $15. I haven't done anything with any of the wiring yet. I did make myself, I forgot I'm over here, make myself a little switch holder that mounts up on the side of the, up right in here, that, it's just direct wire. I'm gonna do some cutting and some splicing to be able to disconnect this easily. So I also have a terminal block that I plan on landing all of these two so that I can use this as a bench top power supply as well. Plus I've got some LED lighting and stuff like that that I would like to be able to hook directly up to something. So I don't think I'm going to do anything with this today, except for maybe cut them all down, cut the ends off, group up the okay, yeah, I'm reading chat, sorry. Group up the wiring just so it's a little bit neater in the back of my case and stuff. But the main thing is I'm going to get this wired up so that it's functioning by the end of this video. Just so that I don't have any of the problems that some of the other ANET owners have incurred with wires being burnt up through the wire board. And I'm just going to throw this out there once again. I did in one of my previous videos, but I'm a licensed electrician, and I'm going to tell you that having a tight connection is very important. You want to make sure that your wire is seated inside of the hole. If you've got the this style connector, which mine came with, just make sure that you get those screws pretty tight. If you have the other style, go and invest in some crimp-on style connectors. This is a package I got from the auto parts store, and it's got some butt splices, some forks, some let's see, some of these guys, some spades, and I'm going to actually be using some of them with some heat shrink just to make some of my connections up. But anyways, I guess I'm going to get started unlooping all of this this wrapping so I can reroute my wires. If you do have any questions, I saw when I was announcing that I was going to be live, I saw somebody post up that they had some questions. I can see chat, so if you do have any questions, feel free to type them in and I'll answer them if I can. But I'm having a good time with this printer, and I'm actually going to be investing in a second printer coming up here soon. No spoilers, but I'm actually waiting on a phone call back from a gentleman who had it one online. It was on Craigslist, actually. I'm going to have to travel about 3.5 hours to get it. It's going to save me about $200 off of the price of the printer that would be unbuilt. And it'll be completely built. I guess there's something, I guess he clogged the nozzle, and I'm not sure if he just didn't have the knowledge or the motivation to tinker with it. But I mean, with these kind of printers, you guys know, if you're an ANET owner, that, or if you're going to be an ANET owner, you gotta tinker with these things. And even when you think you got the settings just right, like I've been printing for like 3 or 4 days solid now, and everything is just honed in really good. But prior to that, I had to go do a whole bed leveling process and stuff, and I'm hoping that once I update and get my inductive sensor installed, that the days of bed leveling manually with these little knobs. If you haven't printed out knobs, print knobs. It's a good thing. Another thing is I did have a glass sheet on my bed at one point. I was using glue stick. I had such good bed adhesion that one of my prints basically glued itself. And me, just being me, because I'm kind of like, tools, I work with them every day, so I know how to use tools, and I sometimes get I'm left-handed, so I sometimes get these 5 things in the way of when I'm doing stuff with this one. And I took, let me get it, let's see if I can find it real quick. Took this guy. Of course, the thing was spinning around. Had my hand like this, trying to unpry, and it went right across my finger. You still see it? So, 3D printing can be dangerous. Safety. Be aware of what's going on. Anyways, not gonna preach. As long as you keep everything labeled properly, the nice little stickers they got on them, shouldn't have any problem getting things back the way they're supposed to be. So pretty much this bulk of wires is all the extruder stuff. It's all got to come out. This is for the bed, or for the cable chain. I'm going to check the chat real quick. Well, I'm completed my new yes, I concur with Chuck. You want to well, the biggest thing is you got to have your bed level, all right? So if you don't print your bed leveling knobs first, make it within that, first couple. But if you'll go back and you'll see one of my videos, I showed, bed leveling knobs. You want your tensioners for your Y and for your X. If you're not doing an inductant, I would move your Z switch. Otherwise it's way back here, and trying to adjust it is just not fun. So this is a good print. The links, if you go back and watch that other video, there's links for all the Thingiverse items that I was talking about in that video. So yeah, definitely, you want to be printing stuff for the printer to start out. That way you're actually, getting your thing tweaked so that you can make different adjustments and stuff, as well as, you're able to make adjustments while you're going to determine, what needs to be adjusted so that you're getting some good parts out when it is time to be printing some real stuff. So Alright, so yeah, a lot of time will be spent upgrading your machine. And it's just, that's the fun of it, you know. You can, you know, print things for your printer. I've actually thought about getting another kit, an Anet kit, and then, you know, have all the upgraded parts ready for the upgrade, for the build that is, so that when I put it all together, all these things will already be on there. So just a thought, you know. All right, everything's loose from there. This is my cable chain. Got 2 full ones. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then I got one here, 17. So 17 small links and 2 of the big ones. I don't know if you necessarily need both of them. You could actually print a smaller one. I just kind of like the look of that. So. And this one is open, so I won't have to like lace it through each and every. There's some that you'll see out there that actually, let me break this one off. Let me show you the difference here real quick. And that's how easy it comes apart, just so you know. But if you see this one, it's open in the top, and if you see that one, it's not. So this one I've got towards the end, and this one is just in the middle of the and I printed that. That way I didn't have to lace it through each and every single one of these. It's actually got holes right here that go all the way through, and you can put tie wraps across. So, anyways, I'm gonna lace them up through there. That's nice. I'm liking it. All right. It's a little warm in here. I hope tattoos don't offend anybody, because I have a few. Also, I hope that smoking doesn't offend anybody, because third thing, hey, get yourself a Raspberry Pi. I don't have this hooked up obviously right now because the printer's not hooked up, and I actually have the camera as one of the other cameras that being set up. Nice. Whoop. Sorry about that. All right, now onward. I didn't tell you about these either. This is an Allen wrench, 2.5 millimeter with a little handle on it, and I'll tell you what, better than working with them Allen keys. Or as one of the guys I used to work with, I'm an electrician once again, he's an electrician, he used to call them Allen keys, and I swear to you that he had a label on a drawer in the side of his truck that said Allen keys. Alright, so inductance sensor is on. Another good, real simple little upgrade that makes your life a lot easier. This guy right here, that little knob, it's a quick easy print, and it goes right there on top of that little button on top of your extruder, and I'll tell you what, it just makes life so much easier getting your filament in and out. I got a little brown stuck in there because I printed this today. I haven't even done his hair. I needed a brother. That's the hairy line. All right. Major cable management. There's no science to this, people. These are, these are your own personal machines, and you should take pride in it. You should decorate it. You should update it, upgrade it. Just invest in it, It's a good hobby. Keep you busy. All right, where are my time grabs? Not paying attention to the chat right now, so I don't know if anybody's even there. But if you are, thanks for showing up. Please subscribe, if nothing else. All my videos are going to involve, an ANET. I do have some lost casting. I've been doing foam, but I've been wanting to upgrade to the good old lost PLA. Windows update available. Big shout out to the Facebook group that I belong to, the official Anet support group. You guys are awesome. I haven't had any particular issues with mine that I've had to get help from you guys, but I've been able to answer some questions and help some other people out with their problems. So if you have an Anet and you're on Facebook, you should be in that group. So far, all of these connectors have fit through this cable chain, so if you're thinking about doing it, don't worry about the size of the wires and stuff like that going through it and having a hard time. But this one is kind of nice because, like I said, it's open versus the other ones that I've seen that weren't open. I wanted to get some red ones, but turns out all I had was black. Green or white. Doing this MOS FET update also because I got my enclosure ready. I got a couple rolls of ABS, and really like to do some ABS printing. I don't know if you guys have gotten into it or anything. I know PLA is so easy to print, but it's more about going to be durability issues when it comes time to get warm outside. I guess from what I understand, that PLA doesn't really stand up to the temperature very well. And I've had a couple of requests, like one of my buddies has got a boat, and he found out I had a printer, and he's like, I got a boat I need a part for. You're not going to be able to use PLA because that thing's going to be right out in the sun. So figure I'm going to need some ABS or something that's going to be able to stand up to the temperature. That, and I got a couple of parts that I have in mind for my motorcycle. And once again, it's not going to work very well if it's warm out. Beating down on them PLA parts, melting, I guess, huh? I've been printing in the winter, all winter. Got this for Christmas. If you didn't know that, then go back and watch my videos. We got three people hanging in. Appreciate it, guys. Let's see. Nice, Tony. Well, you can definitely guarantee that I'm going to be making some videos with some Lost Cat. Hey, James. Welcome, James. James is, oh, you know what I did? I forgot to put this wire in all that. Let's see if I can do this. Ah, I snuck it right in there. But it's coming apart. Oh shit. Poop. Poop. Oh, poop. Even the best laid plans, sometimes you're going to need plan B. So anyways, let's see, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, parts for the motorcycle. Alright, back to where I was. Okay. Alright, now the fun part. One at a time, I guess. This guy here, pretty fat, so I'm probably going to want to go with the fat ones first. That one even going to fit? No. You know what? That extra link can go bye-bye. The nice thing about this too is if I end up needing to make an extra link, I can just print one out, and then I don't have to redo all of these wires. I can just kind of snap it into place. But I'm not advertising this guy's cable chain, but the design is pretty good. Oh, shoot. I'm going to have to take this one off. Well, I haven't even got to the real upgrade that I wanted to do, which is the MOS FET. That's coming. All right. Cable chain installed. So nice and flexible. What do you think? Is it pretty? Matt, did you upgrade any wires going to the motors or to the heater bed? And what about the power supply wire? Now, I'm just gonna, once again, I'm gonna say this, that I am an electrician, and the wiring that is connected to this bed, I mean, you really got to be drawing a lot to exceed the amperage draw of this wire. So no, I'm not going to update the wiring in this. I did do a new power supply, and I'm actually going to take the original, and this is what I'm going to use to connect to my hotbed through the MOS FET. So that answers your question there, Carlos. Alright, so I guess we'll move on to the hotbed. So, well, actually, I've got to get my motherboard mount ready. So I put my MOS FET on. There's the thermostat. Alright. A sip of coffee. So I plan on pretty much when I'm done with this that I'm going to have to do a complete recalibration, remeasuring of my x-axis. I'll probably just check my nozzle height and make sure my bed really hasn't been moved around, but you never know. And until I put this auto levering sensor, which is going to require a firmware upgrade, it's just going to be sitting there looking pretty. Isn't that pretty? Give her a little wipe down while I'm there. motherboard connects to the MOS FET. MOS FET connects to the power supply. I need 2 more hands. Sorry, that took some concentration. Stop talking, but boy, that was a pain when you first install it. It's even more of a pain when you got a bunch of stuff connected to it. But just like that, now there are a bunch of different mounts. They actually have another mount that you could actually put your Raspberry Pi on there too. But I really wanted to be able to keep this separated from the actual unit so that if I wanted to do something later on with it, it wasn't impossible to get at. So that's all. They actually have some covers too and stuff. But what I'm hoping to be able to do is showcase my electrical abilities here by showing off my wire job, but can't guarantee that that's going to be the case. Alright, so let us reroute some of this stuff. Sorry, I had to read some of the chat and see where we're at. All right. Guess I really need to have this thing mobile too, so I know exactly what I can do and what I can't do. This guy here though, he doesn't want to go in there. Which I don't know if I want that in there. like that. Cable management. All right, so this is the original wire that fed the unit. Clearance here. Hair. Well, we're up to 6 people now. Thanks for showing up. Okay, so that wire is for my power supply, and that is going to go to my MOS FET and feed my hotbed. Alright. So these guys here need to get rewrapped. Show you a little trick with this stuff. If you just let me get this camera up closer. Take and just spin it. Get it started. Of course, it's not going to work on camera. Once you get it started, you just give it a nice spin, and this stuff will just put itself on. Ta-da! Of course it missed. That's where it's going to be. Okay, so neatening up. Now, if you guys got some good cable management, what you should do is you should post it up. I'll move this back out. Post it up and let's see what you got, you know? So, these guys here are going to that. And sometimes you got to make sure that you check. Some things polarity is important, sometimes it's not. But in this particular case, polarity is important. I think I'll go with this. I'm about to get an interruption, just so that you guys know, but it shouldn't be for long. You can come in, but I am live.
You're live like Facebook Live?
Like live on the internet.
Like YouTube?
Like YouTube. Got a bunch of people watching me modify my printer here.
How many people you got watching?
Right now there are 6.
Oh.
I appreciate you just sitting right there. Thank you.
Never. They can hear you or just see you?
Oh yeah.
Oh. What's up, peeps?
This is Ryan. He was one of my special guests in one of my previous videos. He actually helped me set up my Anet. Anybody chatting?
A little bit.
On braided wire covering or clear heat shrinking the whole setup. Well, just remember that anything you do to your wiring, you know, if you make it a permanent, you know, with heat shrink and you want to do some modifications to it at a later date, it's going to make it a little bit difficult to do so. So that's why this wrap kind of works good. I have an issue getting forks and stuff underneath this terminal block. So I put bare wires under screws for a living.
Matt, do you plan on installing a wire cage for the heat bed also? And turning the bed so that the wires are the left side of the printer?
Yeah, I actually, during one of my previous, when I took the glass off, I had to reset my bed, and I actually did turn it because I was thinking about putting a cable chain on that as well. And this connector was hitting the side, so I ended up turning it back and I left it at that point. As far as putting a fan on this, my thought is if I'm doing ABS, this is air movement, and I don't necessarily want the air movement inside my enclosure. So, good question. I have kind of thought it out, but I wasn't sure. Hello. I got more visitors. I'm live on YouTube.
Just telling Ryan that not including that plastic container.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So this is my positive negative in to my MOSFET. And once again, red is positive, black is negative. Just like your car battery. And connections tight. Not too tight where you're going to break something, but get them tight. You could solder the ends of these, make them nice and firm, but I'm not going to. Okay, so there's the wires from my power supply to the input of my MOSFET. This wire goes to my bed.
James Colby is asking, so solder the leads to the bed and set up a connector further up the leads? No?
Yeah, you could do that as well. But you know, if it's not fixed, then don't, or if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I haven't had a problem with the bed. This is just more of a preventative maintenance, you know. $10 for the part. If $10 saves me a $200 printer, then I guess it's worth it. See my
Lion?
the brown one
Yeah, that.
turned out pretty good, huh?
So how do you get the hair to go
Gotta
on?
get the hair dryer out. Pretty good.
Oh, and you kind of like push it back?
Yep. You gotta watch the video. He's talking about the hairy lion that I got up there that hasn't had its hair did.
Did they see it yet?
Yeah, I kind of showed everybody. Screwdriver.
This is so awesome. I want one for my van. Put right on my dashboard.
Problem is that once it gets warm, that stuff will kind of melt.
How smooth it came out. That's so freaking awesome.
Now the bed itself is not polarized. It's a heater element, and heaters, you know, they just actually just creating like a controlled short between your wire, and that generates heat.
That's a waste,
There's always a little bit of waste when it comes time for printing in 3D. Alright, so now all I really have left to do is hook up the control for the bed. And it doesn't, it is polarized. I'm not sure which one is which, but we'll find out when we hook it up, I guess. This is the controller, and this is hooking up from your old hotbed output of your board with this particular MOSFET came with the little connector, or the connector with the wire, so make it really easy to hook up. And I'm just going to try to match up what I can as far as polarity. It doesn't give me one, but like I said, I think I saw somebody writing on it that if you get any type of negative reading, it's kind of like if you take a battery and you hook it up to a meter, and if your positive and your negative aren't matched up, you're going to get a negative reading. So that's probably what the case was in that particular person's situation, but wasn't there. Not sure. Nice and tight connections. Give it a little pull on it. Make sure your wires don't come out. And here's my bed connection. So at this point, my MOS FET is connected. All I got to do is get the power supply hooked up and reconnect all these wires. Do a little bit of neatening up as best as I can for now. And we're going to plug her in and see what happens. Huh? Okay, so this is the bed thermostat. Extruder bed thermostat. BT. The bed. Okay. Got fan 2. Got fan 1. Got my hot end. My sticker came off. An extruder heater is the same. Shouldn't really need to be polarized. It's just a heater. But if it just happens to not work the way you hook it up, if you just switch the wire, there's a good chance that that's going to fix it. Unless you got something wrong with the actual components. Thermostat for my hot end. ET for extruder thermostat. Thermostat. Not sure. I've never heard of thermistor, but everybody's using that, so. Okay, let's see. I got extruder motor. Boy, my Garmin really wants me to update my GPS. Okay, and the last one here, not marked. There's only one spot left. Gotta be a limit switch. Oh yeah. It's my X limit switch. Okay, make sure I plug in my LCD. So I don't have an exact idea as to what to do with each and every one of these, but I need to neaten it up a little bit. Neaten up a little bit. Alright, so that's not getting hooked up right now. Let's take this guy. Now before I did start, I did end up soldering the ends of these. And if I can get something to fit, yeah, see, you got a double mechanical plate, you know, so I feel pretty confident about it myself. And these aren't the traditional colors. Normally it would be black, white, and green. Black being hot, white being your neutral, and green being your ground. These are odd colors. I got some blue, yellow with a green stripe, and a brown. I had got my multimeter out earlier. I did a continuity test, and the blue is your hot wire, your gray or your brown is the neutral, and the yellow with the green stripe is your ground. So L, see, L is your hot, N is your neutral, and ground is your ground. You got 3 terminals. This is the original, so this applies for anybody using the original. Those 3 common terminals are all electrically connected in this unit. Just 3 different spots for you to connect to. That's your negative, your black. And then your 3 V plus are your positive, which is going to be your red wires. This power supply works fine. I just wanted more power, so I got the ATX power supply. Okay, so that's that. Got a couple of 18-inch or 18mm long 3mm screws. It comes stock with it. Bunch of extra parts. That's not it. That's what she said. Well, they might be too long. Definitely don't want to be hitting anything inside with a screw. I got some shorter ones. Oh. Little hair around the hole. Might help if I put it through the right hole. Try this again. Hey! Winner, winner! I already had a pasta dinner, so I don't want chicken. That's two. Now what I thought about doing was, at this point right now, this switch turns this power supply on or off. Which when that turns on, it's going to turn on 12 volts to actually all the yellow wires in this bunch are my positive, and all the black ones are the negative. So what I thought was I could take them and put them through a relay so that when this turns on, it'll kick the relay on and it'll provide the power to my actual other power supply. So future project, but it was just one of the ideas that I had. So, but anywho, got 2 wires left to hook up. And I think I've come to the conclusion of the upgrade, so we'll have to fire it up, see what happens. They do make a proper tool for that. But like I said, I do this for a living. And pretty comfortable around wiring, so. Alright. Nice tight connection. All right. A little tie wrap in here for some strain relief. Well, that wasn't good. Oh yeah, there was one other thing I needed to do. One more thing. So I can make this thing easily disconnected. At this point, you know, I can just pull the connector off the motherboard for the power, but this guy here is not easily disconnected. So we're going to make it easily disconnected. So just do a snip, snip, snip. Here these bad boys. And this is the actual spade. And the spade male, and then I got a spade female. There they are. Take a little shrink tube just to make my connectors so that they're not exposed. Except for the part that's plugged into the wall, the rest of it's all low voltage, so you're not really going to get shocked off of it, but it's more about preventing shorts. Don't want to get a short because electronics, they just fry. And personally, I don't like my electronics fried. I like them battered. Okay. Slide the shrink tube over it. Take the female in. Because you don't want a live part sticking out. So this part is actually going to, let's get it up closer here. This part I'm actually going to heat shrink part around it. These have a crimper on it. Pretty handy. Slide the heat shrink over it. Get out my trusty lighter. I could have got the heat gun out, but why? Like that. Nice pull, make sure. See, so it's right here. Make it a little easier. Now, if you're using a computer power supply, the green wire in this is actually the wire that needs connection to a ground to activate. So that's why I have, well, this is my ground, this is my on wire, and then because my switch has an LED built into it, it needs a positive as well. So that's why it's got 3 wires. Otherwise, you can get away with just 2. And it's just a switch. Turn it on, turn it off. Oops. This one's a little smaller, so we're going to go with the red ones instead of the blue. But you see how I pulled on that and it came loose. If you don't check, then that could happen while your machine is running. Then you're scrambling trying to figure out what the heck happened. Okay, now I got to do that to the other end. Switch. Now these ones I don't need to heat shrink because they're actually going to go up inside the other one. Sounds dirty, but it ain't. But it is a male-female connection. Oh, shoot. That was supposed to be the red one. Here I am, I'm not paying attention. Good thing I got extra ends, huh? Good squeeze, nice pull, good to go. This makes it so that when I take it in and out of my case, which isn't that often, I can easily get it in and out without having to do anything with the power supply at this point, because what my intention is eventually it'll be a different enclosure and the power supply will be located separately. So there you go. And there we go. Color for color. And there it is. So, now really all I got left to do, I'll put this guy up there. So the can. Alright, good screw for it. Now I measured this up and made it up on 1, 2, 3 design. Just a quick little thing that I made. Nothing particular, but it's a nice thing about having a 3D printer is that all of your imaginations can somewhat come true. All you gotta have is a little bit of a willingness to learn something new. Alright. That's that. Now, I guess I'm not going to do anything with those wires right now. I do have this little plug I'm going to hook up. This is for my LED strip. Just taking a 12-volt supply, feeding my little LED strip that's up underneath. That guy up there. Alright, so one last connection. Wires, wires, wires everywhere. Okay, so don't like that. Gotta do one last adjustment. I think I had enough looseness on the bed wires. Probably end up doing some more work on these wires at a later date for sure. But I wanted to get that MOS FET in there so that. Alright, let's see. What do I need? I need some power. Need some power. Any power. And plug this in over there. Got power. MOS FET light is on. Well, I'm getting heat to my bed. So I guess everything's working, so. So I guess everything went back together the way it should be. My bed is already heated up to 46, 47 degrees out of 60. And that's my upgrade for today. So I'm going to go over to the computer and see if we got some more questions, and then we'll conclude this stream. So let's move over to that. Yeah, hang on. Let's add. This is one that I didn't. Let's see. Bear with me. Just gotta get. The right one. Hey Matt, what's the amperage draw on the entire unit? Have I checked or no? I have not checked to see whether or not alright, I can't get this thing to do what I want it to do, so we're just going to take this cam counter, move it over here. Alright. Alright. I need a source piece of 3/4 plastic tabletops or something. I found an awesome design for a bracket for an enclosure. Yeah, I thought about making an enclosure out of complete plexiglass all the way around so that I could just see everything that was going around, but plexiglass is a little expensive, so modular setup, yep. Extra cooling fan, advised for these, not needed, seemed to me. Anything over 10 amps should have serious cooling. Yeah, I don't think that these things are drawing 10 amps quite. I don't. With DC, you got to be in series with it in order to get an amperage reading. And I'm just not set up for that. I have everything needed for a check voltage on, or amperage on 120 volts, but that's about it. So anyways, if anybody doesn't have any other questions, I guess I'm just gonna complete this this stream. I appreciate everybody showing up that did. This is the Anet A8, if in case you missed that. But stay tuned for more videos. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Go back and watch some of my other videos if you'd like them while you're at it. There's also a Patreon link on my main page if you feel like throwing me a couple bucks, but I don't see that happening. But anywho, I appreciate everybody showing up and following the stream, and I hope you learned something. And if you think that I need to learn something, don't forget to leave some comments. Alright, have a good night everybody, and happy printing.